Hello, everyone. I'm going to pop it up here to see when people join. Happy to be here tonight, Wednesday night live hypnosis sessions with Hypno Heather in effect. So looks like it's all good. I'm going to go to Hypno Heather so I can see who's saying hi. For those of you that are already here, welcome. We'll just take a moment so it starts to show up live and people can see we're live and happening. Yeah, I'm really excited for this session tonight. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Kara. And to really dive into this topic of money. I'm so excited. Hey, Vicki. Yeah, like it just kept coming to me, the material for this, but also the understanding of how fun it is. It's so fun actually to get into our money stuff because there's just so much stickiness there. There can be layers to it, just like anything else that we're working on, but yet somehow finances and money and amounts of money and like sharing conversation and details about money can still be, hey Karen, can still be really taboo almost, where we can feel uncomfortable. And I thought, hey Paula, and I thought, this is a great topic to talk about right now. And even when I was writing about it, I thought, ooh, this kind of might seem inappropriate to some people to be bringing in this topic of money. At this time when there is a lot happening around the economy and people not having work and people not having the income that they had before. And that really took me down this whole path of how awesome it would be actually for that to be at the forefront of the conversation so that we can really start to talk about money in a more productive way, in a less secretive way, and have it be out in the open so that we can notice the way that we're thinking about it, because sometimes when we're just stuck in our own heads, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I'm just like processing something on my own in my mind, that it takes me to start to process it outside of myself, whether that's writing, but especially in conversation where, we can have a conversation with someone and I find like, okay, so I'll have a thought about something and then I'll start conversing about it. And by the time I start talking about it, I realize, oh, that isn't even what I think. It was just starting to be something in my mind that I was creating. So I thought, let's just open the floor to having a conversation about money, and really looking at it in a way just like we would talk about health or mental health or weight loss or bad habits or good habits or things that we want to change or do differently or positive thinking or these things that might be a little bit less charged up, like or less taboo, like exercise or um mindset or even relationships, right? We could be quite open about how we talk about the people in our lives or what we're experiencing in our relationships and not even be talking about money. And money is the relationship that we all have, whether you're single, separated, divorced, married, you know, um, like whatever type of relationships you're in, you are always in a relationship with money. And oftentimes it could be that neglected relationship, or it could be that relationship that we could grow in that we don't. So I'm going to get into a bit about why it's so awesome working on money stuff in the subconscious mind, to before we get started. So it looks like lately I have been starting the hypnosis about 20 minutes in. So that gives us about 10 min just to kind of go over this, and feel free to start to comment any money beliefs that are dated, and I don't mean dated in history, although they could be. I mean dated as far as they are not working for you anymore. There might be feelings or thought that you have about money that just are not working for you anymore and you know it. Throw them in the comments because that'll give me examples to speak to as I'm going into this. Now, as a lot of you know, I do teach and train hypnotherapists or hypnosis practitioners, and some of them are on the call. Hello, miss you guys. Man, I miss being in our class. It was just so wonderful. And I have been studying the subconscious mind forever, seems like, but for sure professionally since 2011. And then, working for that many years as the hypnosis practitioner in the subconscious mind with every person that comes into my office. So that's thousands of people. And then, reading so much, learning so much, but also I'm a person that really does learn by living these things. And so by learning about my own subconscious mind and then seeing what I was seeing in everybody else, it gave me a lot of insight into understanding why hey guys, why we have, you know, things that just get stuck, like things that just don't happen no matter what, and especially in certain areas. And this is why I really wanted to talk about money today, because I feel like money, even though it might seem like our limiting beliefs about money are just about money, they often come down to our sense of worth, our sense of, we think we deserve. And I know you guys that have been coming to these every Wednesday night, but just to refresh and just to bring in for those of you that haven't been here, we've been talking about how it just doesn't work to try to convince yourself like that you're abundant. We've been talking about it in all areas, but basically it doesn't work to say I am wealthy or I am rich beyond imagination or I have all of the money I could ever need. Because if the subconscious mind does not feel that, does not believe that, it's just going to bounce off. And sometimes it can actually make it worse because in our trying to convince ourselves of feeling or believing something that we don't believe, then we're just repelling it because it's like there creates so much resistance around like telling ourselves we're wealthy and then looking at the bank account and saying that we're not and seeing that we're not, and then it just creates such a conflict. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create we're going to let the inner conflict resolve. We're going to work to get the desire more aligned with the subconscious belief so that it's a harmony, and harmony will always attract more money. Okay, guys, good. This is great. Okay. I know I'm excited about this one tonight because I know that working on this will help us all. Like, especially at this time, like we can't get caught up in beliefs about what is possible for us because of the reality of the economy or the situation. Because that's again just feeding into something that then we're causing our subconscious minds to believe. So I got to get into these comments. Okay, how do I see them all? Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, but I see. So it's like stressing about where it will come from, feeling irresponsible. Ooh, that's a good one too, because sometimes we feel like, and I feel like this has really been happening more because of the law of attraction, where we're like feeling like we're not going to be great with money until we're not going to have more money until we're better with it. And like I had that belief for sure where I thought, oh my God, I need to get more organized, especially when I had more money come into my life because of the work I was doing and, didn't know how to manage it. I remember believing that like I had to get my shit together before more would come. So that's totally example. Hey, Cheryl. And so when we're looking at these kind of beliefs, right? And then again, like hating it, uh, money is the root of all evil. I love reggae. Some of you know this about me. I love reggae. I love dancehall reggae. I love reggaeton. And I was listening to a song in my car the other day and I literally had to change the song because I was like, it was like money is the root of all evil. And I just was like, oh my God, right. Like I can't listen to this. And I liked it coming out because it is often through music that we do develop certain beliefs about romance and about money and about life that seem true because someone else is saying it in a really melodic way. And I know coming from that grassroots um, lifestyle, that rebel grassroots lifestyle that I lived, that I still live, but just in a different way, is that I used to think that too, that money was evil. But the thing is, you could do good or evil with money, but that doesn't make it evil. So I'm going to go through some of this stuff because exactly, right? Because it's like that seems like that seems like the right thing to do, be against money. But being against money isn't the same as being against certain corporations or policy or the ways that big companies conduct their business. It's one thing to not support a company that you don't agree with the ethics of their business and what they do with their money, and another thing to hate money and repel it from your own life. And this is where we're going. I'm so happy to see everyone. I'm so excited about this topic, as you can probably tell, because I just know the shifts that happen. And I think it's so relevant right now because we are being called to change the way that we look at things. We're being called to change the amount of effort that we put into doing things externally. And I did find something on here about, it's weird I can't see all my comments now. I did see something on here about that, about needing to work X amount of time in order to be okay, or this whole kind of external, I'm just looking at, I want to find this because I want to see. Yeah, just the way that we look at what we have to do in order to deserve money. That's the best I could say it, because it's like that. It's like we also have beliefs about what has to happen for us to be worthy of it and to be successful and to be wealthy, and especially if there's things about um oh, here, perfect. If there's things about like maybe not doing things above ground or being shady or like unethical to have more money. So yeah, this is really good. This is really good. The kind of stressing about it, feeling like you have to wait for it. Oh, that's such a good one. Because I was just thinking about this as I was planning the topics for the 2-month online mentoring group for hypnosis practitioners that I've been working on that's starting June 3rd. And, this is really for anyone that is already has some education in hypnosis, basically. And one of the things I was looking at is how I can teach them to make those bigger moves, or like how I can inspire that, because I see that along the way, where might we might not invest in something because we're not really sure that it will give us the return. And excuse me, I have people that, are wanting to sign up for stuff that I'm doing that will ask me like, can you guarantee this return? But the thing is that, this is a really good part to come into our real topic here, which is like the return, even though it could be money and is most likely going to be more money, it actually comes in other forms first. So for those of you that have taken classes by me, know that what you get from the class, even though there's a potential to make a lot of moolah, what you really get from it first has nothing to do with money. And there's a richness that's received, from this time that we spent together, that is what we're really going to focus on in the building part of our session today for creating wealth. Okay. Because when we're looking at creating wealth, most people, let's actually do it here, since this is such a great crowd we got tonight. Put in the comments what you would like, how having more money or being financially secure would benefit your life. How would it help your life to be financially secure? And while you're doing that, I'll just chat a little bit about this whole idea of wealth being in the mind, and wealth being really coming from within. And so often we don't invest in ourselves because we might be looking for a return or a financial return without really understanding that the financial return will always come from self-growth. This is the world that we live in right now. It's not the same as before. Before, now it was more based on work hard, work hard, work hard. But as you can find out now, that external hard work only really creates results when it's in alignment, when it's in the flow of like where you're really wanting to go and what matters to you. And that's why people knock millennials, right? Because they feel like they're not, they don't understand the reality. But their reality is not the same reality as the older reality. Because the reality now is not about sacrifice and sucking it up and doing something that you hate so that you can be financially secure and therefore okay, even though you sacrifice the whole joy of your life and what you feel called to do. This is not about, this is not about financial, this is not about wealthy. Being wealthy is not about having enough money yet, but not living and not following your heart. And so when we're talking about this, creating abundance and investing in yourself, there's just no way that you would ever that you would ever not gain more financial abundance by doing your personal work. Because this is just something that is probably part of the new beliefs that we want to instill. Here, I'm going to write this down, right? This is definitely one of these beliefs, like, because somehow we feel like if we're doing work on ourselves, or if we're investing in ourselves, like, yeah, we'll learn and we could get a better position or a better job and therefore make more money. But then we're not looking at how abundance really works and how outside of our income, financial freedom and abundance can really come in. So this will be part of our, I'm going to start to make a list. I have some already in mind of our new beliefs that we'll do inside of hypnosis tonight. But this would be that when you invest in your personal self-growth, then then abundance, financial abundance follows, period. And from where I stand is like, then when you help other people do it too, it grows even more. But let's say that we're coming out of that and back into, here we go, making dreams a reality, preparing a life, creating a home. Financial freedom is very different for everybody. Being able to do what you want, being able to spoil your family, pay for everything that you need to pay for, right? All of these things and more. And so when we're really looking at this, I'm just looking at the comments. So I want to make sure I see them all. Options, freedom. This is just great, and more room. It's true, because we can think that, it can really feel that if we don't have enough money, then we can't do the things that we want to do. And sometimes that could very well be like, if I don't have money, I can't say I wanted to take a trip to Europe. I would need to pay for that plane ticket, potentially. But it isn't very often that we'll just sort of put it out there and say, okay, I want to take a trip to Europe, and let it come together, rather than be like, ooh, I'm going to need this much money to go to Europe, or I'm going to need, I don't have enough money to do that. And this is what we're going to work and look at. This is what we're going to look at after we do the hypnosis session. Kind of throughout the week, we're going to look at like, what changed and how are things different? Because this is the fun of working in this, in the subconscious mind. So let's just kind of get into this a little, because what we're really talking about is how to use the power of your subconscious mind to create wealth. And we've been working in the subconscious mind every Wednesday, and some of you, a lot more too, along with me. And so there is so much that we can do, but there are reasons why our affirmations fail, and even following some of the stuff of the law of attraction doesn't work. And this is because it got to be done in a way that is accepted at your core level, right? So it's really important to understand that your subconscious mind accepts what you really feel to be true, not just your words or your statements. And so when you're starting to look at what's possible for yourself financially, think less in words and more in pictures, first of all, because the subconscious mind actually is imagining, is an imagination. So the more you can imagine things, the better. But again, don't try to push yourself to have to be there, right? Like if I was just to sit here and just say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, but there's a part of me that doesn't feel that, and also isn't even sure if being a millionaire is really that good, or maybe there's perceptions. When people would come into my office working with on money stuff, and they'd start to talk to me about how they feel about money, and I'd start to be looking more underlying at like what beliefs are there that are holding them back. It would be very simple. I could just say, okay, what do you think of rich people? And just the response to that could be a lot, you know, could be a lot because just think, if you're like, oh man, rich people are evil, they're selfish, they only care about themselves, they don't care about the world, they're wasteful, whatever these thinking could be, we're not judging the thinking. I want you to, with love, look at the way that you look at money, look at the way that you look at wealth, look at the way that you think about wealth. And honestly, because that's going to be way more helpful than doing an affirmation saying, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, these kind of things that are literally going to just bounce off your subconscious mind. So, yeah, and the other thing I'll say about this is that it's often that we think once we get there, then we'll have the acquired thing. So, for example, when people come in, over the years, I've specialized in weight loss. I did a lot of work with weight loss, and it was always like, well, once I lose weight, I'll do this, or once I lose weight, I'll feel this. And what happens is that just creates so much everything towards getting to the goal, resistance, pressure. If you have to do that much work and lose that much weight to feel okay or to feel better, then every day that you don't feel that, it's just going to be so trying. And it's the same with money. If we have to get all the money to feel free, then we're never going to feel free. And this is another piece that we're really putting into the puzzle today, is like, no, let's get free. Let's feel the freedom. Let's connect to the freedom. And then let the money roll in. Like, have you ever just had something happen where you're just like, this always happens when people are wanting to take my courses. Like, they'll say, oh, like I really want to do it so bad. I put it out there, but I just like, I don't have the money right now, but I know I'm meant to be in this class. And then they'll email me a couple days later and be like, oh, so I just got this like check from the government that I overpaid, and it's like more than enough to take your class. And then they'll be like, when do I ever get money back from the government? Or, I see that kind of thing happen all the time, where it'll just really come in. And really, I definitely think that this does speak to every culture and every nationality. It's just that maybe Prince, that the culture and the beliefs are different than other people's beliefs, because we did take on beliefs of our families and often of our culture. And if we really go back, we could even go back to like the Depression, to a time when there wasn't enough, to a time when it really was about like how much you work to survive. And think about how we all have that as a part of our consciousness. And when we're really looking at this type of work, we can't be victims. We have to be willing to take responsibility for the bullshit that we learned as a result of the family, of the culture, of the society that we grew up in. And not as a blame, just as an understanding that now we can unravel that. Now we can unpack that. Now we can take responsibility for what we do moving forward for our future generations. And the one thing we do get to do is we get to decide which beliefs we want to perpetuate. So I'm going to work with you right away here. This is a big topic, so I could keep talking all night, but I do want to get to the hypnosis. But really, what we want to do is like kind of feel into this, right? Where we're not just discounting the things that we learned that are not helpful or being upset about it. We're just understanding that it has created limitations and it has affected our deeper beliefs about abundance. And it has not allowed us to be as free as we truly desire and deserve. So today, we're going to freedom. We're going to you being able to imagine a future where your stuff is taken care of. And even when you're not perfect or always on it or always planning and figuring it out, there's more than enough income coming in for you to take care of yourself, those you love, and the lifestyle that you truly desire to live. And so we're thinking about the subconscious mind as like your invisible means of support. Some of you might have seen my affirmations that I threw up on the post for tonight, which says, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. Infinite intelligence governs and watches over all of my financial transactions. Whatsoever I do shall prosper. And so this is where we're going to go into the subconscious. I'll work with some of those affirmations, but it's this main thing about understanding that you've got this part of you that is genius, that it knows all, and that it can guide the way. But we have to be willing to succumb, we have to be willing to let go of fear. And yeah, and how we think about it is really big. How we think about it is really big. Because if we keep perpetuating these stories of not having enough, of never having enough, of not growing up like so and so, or not having this support, or not having this help, or always having to pay your way, or not having a partner or a spouse that helps, or not having a partner or a spouse, there's so many things that we could keep looking at of why we aren't going to be okay, or why other people are luckier, or why it's harder for us. But the thing is, that is also faulty thinking, because if we keep believing that we can't be financially abundant, then how can we be? I know for years, especially after separating from my marriage, that's been over 6 years now. I think even before that, like I really grew up with like a mentality that like you have to be able to take care of a house and cook so that you can find a man to support you. And I feel like even sometimes now, like that's a little belief that'll just come back. Like I'll see, oh, well, this person's so lucky they can just run their business because their man pays for all their bills and their bills don't need to be paid from their business. But then I started to look at, whoa, that's such a limiting belief that I think a lot of women have too, where it was just like, well, somehow you could be more financially independent with someone else. And so then that could cause, feelings of victim and stuff like that too. So what we're really looking at here is how to bring you out of your beliefs into a new way of looking at things, that as is right now, you are positioned to be able to take care of yourself, invest in yourself, and create a positive expectation that more money is coming always. Okay. So I know I got a lot of feedback from you all. This is just awesome. If there is something that you want me to specifically work on that you haven't mentioned in the comments, just throw them into the chat right now. Because I'll just take a look. I'll just be scrolling through it as we are going through this process. I almost want to like just do one on money every week. Like, I think that there's so much material and there's so much that we could cover. But you know, if that's something you'd be interested in, feel free after to let me know. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, cool, cool. Yeah. Um, awesome. This is live and in full effect. And now we're going to get into the hypnosis. So, those of you that haven't been here before, what we'll do is like in a moment, I'll get everyone to chill, just get comfortable. You can close your eyes. I do my little hypno things of probably a 10 to 1 countdown, some relaxation, a few techniques, maybe opening and closing of the eyes, just to help bypass that critical factor. Because what we're doing here is that you're going to allow the suggestions that are right for you, but mostly you're going to be visualizing on your own, uh, guided by me so that your subconscious mind can do what it needs to do for you. Because if we're too thinking about it, if we're too conscious, what's happening is then again, we're just trying to convince ourselves of something that we want to be true but don't really feel. Whereas we're going to go into more of the heart of it, really tune in, give you the opportunity to tune into yourselves. And I know for like those of you that have been chilling here, like it's amazing the energy that this group actually is creating, that's all for all of us that are here live. And so I'm in this with you guys too. Like I've been feeling the shifts that's happening as we've been going live, which is also part of me being so excited to show up. So don't stress, there's no wrong way to do it. You can just be laying there, close your eyes, and listening to my voice. You'll definitely feel your body relax. If your mind is thinking thoughts, that's okay. If it drifts off and doesn't hear everything I say, that's totally okay too. There's just no wrong way. It's just this is the spa for your mind. Let's get you into the spa, start to give you some opportunities to let go of thinking that no longer serves you, and start to create a new perception and a way of looking at, feeling about, talking about, thinking about money. Ready? Are you ready? Okay. This is great. And I do love this too, that you said, Kara, is like, I will make this one last point before we start hypnosis. If you guys want to start to get comfortable as I'm talking, go for it. Is just that, is like that often there is this belief or perception that there's only enough to go around. And I think it's really important to understand that by allowing more money and financial and abundance into your life, you're not taking from someone else. And in fact, by you not being abundant, it's not helping someone else be more abundant. Because the more that you have, the more that you can give. And it's the same with health, right? The healthier we are, the more we take care of ourselves, the more we can help others. And it's the same, like I can't get sick enough to help you get better, right? I can't get poor enough to help you get rich. And so this is really exciting. So now let's begin. Um, if you'd like to start by closing your eyes, I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody for being here and engaging with us all in this space where we can create, new, lighter, brighter futures. And so, with your eyes closed now, taking in a couple deep breaths, maybe even blowing out through your mouth. And right from the beginning, focusing on your breath. Maybe a couple more kind of like your shoulder, maybe roll your shoulders a bit. Just start to think of this as your time, your space. We won't be too long in here, and I'll for sure count you back when we're done. And so for now, you're just focusing on your breath and knowing that every breath that you take takes you deeper relaxed. Every breath takes you deeper and deeper. Every sound that you hear, every sensation that you feel, any movement that you make, everything is supporting you going into this space of relaxation. That's it. Just starting to settle into that space, knowing that the sound of my voice will continue to take you deeper, relax, and the deeper you go, the better you feel. The more you focus on my voice, the deeper you go, the deeper you go, the better you feel. For those of you that know my voice and have been hypnotized by me before, you'll just automatically find the sound of my voice taking you deeper and deeper, and then you go even deeper now. For those of you coming to my voice, knowing that every time that you hear the sound of my voice will be that beautiful sound to allow the permission of your deeper mind to come up more to the surface as you let your day, your week, your month, your life, your tension, your stress just wash over you. More and more comfortable. More and more relaxed. That's it. So taking a moment and just focusing on your eyelids and letting your eyelids become really nice and heavy. So letting them be so wonderfully, beautifully, comfortably relaxed and letting them be nice and stuck shut. And so you'll notice that the more that you try to open them, the more that they just keep sticking closed. And then noticing even when you really, really try to open them, you can't. And then you just stop trying and send that relaxation into your entire body now. If they did open, it's no problem because opening and closing your eyes is always a deepener into hypnosis. So here we go. In a moment, I'll count to three. You'll open your eyes. I'll snap my fingers. You'll close your eyes and go deeper, relax. Closing your eyes is your signal to yourself to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, open and close. Deeper, relaxed. Now, that's it. You're doing great. Getting ready to do it again, knowing that just this simple act of opening and closing your eyes will double your level of relaxation. 1, 2, 3. Drifting deeper and deeper, relax. This is your time. This is your space. Let yourself forget about what has to be done, or even if you're hearing someone around you, this is just your space. You know, that's what I love about hypnotism, where it's got really nothing to do with me. It's just that I'm providing the space and the cues for you to access your subconscious mind in order to allow these changes to be made in a much easier and more effective way. So you don't have to be, your mind doesn't have to be empty. You could notice tension in your body. Just keep coming with the intention of letting go, right? Letting go every breath, every sound, every sensation, muscles continuing to soften, lengthen, and loosen like a flow of relaxation from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And every breath sends another wave. And another one. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. And close. Drifting deeper with each breath. That's it. You guys are doing great. Sometimes at this point, I like to bring in a body scan of just starting to, from the top of your head, just become aware, right? So you're just kind of scanning down slowly, checking in with yourself, knowing that as you keep scanning, you keep going deeper, relax, and every breath keeps taking you deeper, relax, and you're just getting in tune with you. That's it. There might even be a certain tension or anxiousness that you feel around money. Maybe even just as we were talking today, you noticed a tightness or a shakiness or like being a little bit triggered when you think about money or certain areas of your life or certain parts of your life about money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and every number that I count down will take you deeper relaxed. And it's also an opportunity for you to tune in, for you to really just let yourself soften into the relaxed space, remembering that you are capable of feeling all of your feelings. And they're definitely easier to feel in hypnosis. So you're really letting yourself soften into the space. As you go deeper, relax. 10, 9, 8, 7. That's it. So just sinking deeper into that space. And again, if there's any discomfort, or even just thinking when you think about a certain thing around money, thing, person, need, fear, worry, uh, feeling, conversation, whatever it is, just let that come up for yourself and let yourself feel into that feeling. Maybe it's fear. You don't have to define it though. Just allow space for the discomfort. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed. That's it. Wonderful. Just know that as I keep talking, you'll continue to drift into that space, and you might even kind of drift in and out. There might be things you hear me say. You might hear me say it all, you might drift off. Just let yourself be free. Because this type of work isn't something that you have to follow along with and listen to me and remember. This type of work is more about letting the suggestions that I make percolate into your subconscious mind, which is now more receptive for you to be able to direct it where you're going. So it's always going to be more helpful for us to focus on letting go and creating space before we just start to imagine your new freedom or your new financial situation. Okay. So that's why I had you tap into your discomfort. That's why I had you just start to think about the areas in which money feels very shitty and uncomfortable and stressful in your life. And I'm going to still take another moment where I'm going to stop talking just to give you that opportunity to really feel into that now. Feel into the parts of your life or the things that feel really shitty and stressful and crappy about money right now. I'm doing that now. And then don't be afraid. I know sometimes this was happening even in our class where just even in doing these group sessions, uncomfortable stuff can really come up and you might feel like you want to get out of it, but really it'll pass. And it is in just being unafraid to delve into like and just non-judgmentally, right? Like let yourself feel like, oh yeah, this is stressing me out or this is really bothering me. And really letting yourself just be real with yourself. Like, I wish it wasn't true. I know better. I know I'm not supposed to think like this about this thing or about money, but I do. And this is where we got to get real with ourselves. Like, it stresses me out thinking about having to pay this in the future. It stresses me out feeling like maybe I don't have enough money for retirement or for my children's education or for my bills. It stresses me out that I got a car payment and I don't know if I can make it every month. It stresses me out that I have this bit of debt or this lot of debt. It stresses me out that I can't pay for this. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. It stresses me out to think about what I'm going to do if I have no money. And so, whatever it is, maybe you owe people, maybe you feel shitty about not having money, maybe you feel ashamed, maybe you feel embarrassed, maybe you lie or pretend like you have more money than you have and buy things out of your income. This is what we're looking at, but not in a judgmental way, just in getting real so that we can shift this, okay? If you feel that anywhere in your physical body, just connect to that now too. That's right. You guys are doing awesome. This is so good for the world. Oh my God. And I'm going to encourage you to start breathing into that space. So if you feel it in your chest or in your stomach or in your neck or in your butt, wherever you feel it, just imagine breathing into that space. That's it. Nice deep breaths. And what we're going to do here is just give a simple intention. If you like the idea of something washing away, water washing away, burning away, getting rid of something, sweeping away, dropping into a black hole, cool. Use that. Use that now. But really, all I'm going to do is I'm going to count down slowly from 5 to 1 to give your subconscious mind the opportunity to just allow in that intention that you're bringing in now that you are ready and willing to let this go. You're willing to do this differently. You're willing to let go of any stubborn beliefs or feelings or fears that you've had around money and financial success now. and you make that, intention with yourself. Now I am letting go of everything and anything, known or unknown, around money no longer needed for me. I give permission to myself to let go of anything and everything, known or unknown, around money that no longer serves me. And you breathe. 5, and you let it loosen its grip on you. 4, you bring in love into all the fearful spaces. 3, releasing now. 2, 1. Nice deep breaths, feeling the space that you've created for yourself. And again, just keeping that intention there where you are letting this go, where you're not your parents, you're not your mom, you're not your dad, you're not your family, you're not your culture. You are a beautiful, living, breathing human being that wants to think about things other than money, that wants to be more present, laugh more, smile more, live more freely, breathing more easily, feeling less weight on your shoulders, being more free. And this is where we're going now. The last part of our session here is really stepping into the new. And for those of you that know me, this is how I do, right? Let's create space and then step into where are you going? What's it going to look like? How's it going to feel? How are you going to look? How are you going to dress? How are you going to speak? How are you going to move? What's your face look like? Are you smiling? Are you content? Really tap into where you're going. And if this means you start thinking about, you look at your bank account and there's X amount of dollars on the thing, this is the time to do it. You're in the subconscious mind. You gave space to let go of the shit that's no longer serving you. This is the creative space. This is where we make the dreams come true. This is where people come back and say, I can't believe it. This much money came to me. I can't believe it. I got what I needed to pay this. I can't believe it. I now have this business that I wanted forever. I can't believe it. I now got this inheritance. I can't believe it. I got this money back because I overpaid. Whatever it is, this is where it happens. So let yourself imagine, let yourself feel. What does it feel like to be wealthy? What does it feel like to talk about money? What does it feel like to talk about money in a positive way? What does it feel like to just live without it being so stressful? This is where you could let in some of those affirmations. I am prosperous, or even the better ones, because they're more generalized for the subconscious mind, which is, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. And then we could even take it to infinite intelligence governs and watches over all of my financial transactions. Whatsoever I do shall prosper. And so just imagine, it's kind of like you're passing the weight of the responsibility to your infinite intelligence, to the part of you that knows how to survive and thrive, especially when we're not putting all of these conditions around it. I love Abraham Hicks, and I definitely changed my financial situation for my entire life by listening to, going to, reading, absorbing Abraham Hicks and the Law of Attraction. And the one that I always use, because the thing is, especially when we're out of the subconscious, so when you're not in hypnosis, you want to be as general as possible. That's why these things like I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind are so helpful, because they're not saying I'm a millionaire. They're not saying I have all the money I need. Because if I say I have all the money I need, but I don't right now, it's pointless. So I love to go general. I love Abraham Hicks, and my thing I say by them always is everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And you take that with you, where you're letting it be more of a process of creation, not needing a bunch of money to drop in your lap, but not excluding that that could happen, but letting it be the process where you feel richer and you allow your riches to really be a part of your everyday. And you start to be careful about how you think about and speak about money, and let yourself be more open to what is possible, what you haven't even experienced yet, or you don't even know what could come to you. So I'll take in a moment, I'll count to 3 as I do. And at 3, you'll be back in the room, relaxed, awake, and aware. As you move forward throughout your week, the feeling of wealth produces and continues. And the feeling of wealth produces wealth. And your subconscious mind is like a bank, and it magnifies whatever you deposit or impress upon it. Whether it is the idea of wealth or poverty, choose wealth. This will continue to grow. You will feel more and more financially free, even without the dollars in the bank. You'll find that when you invest in yourself, you always get a financial return. Even maybe think about a time that you spent money, invested on yourself, grew, learned, and then more clients, more money, or more wealth, or more happiness, or a person, love, or romance, whatever it is, came to you. Abundance will always come to you when you do your deeper inner work. So, one, just starting to let a little bit more movement start to come into your body. So, you're just starting to come back to the room. 2, so yeah, maybe moving around a little bit. That's it. And 3, eyes open, back in the room, relaxed, awake, and aware, energized. Breathing easier. Taking a moment to come back. I'll chill here for a moment as you guys come back and let me know your comments. Hello to everyone that joined during. And remember, I always leave these up live, so you can go back and do them again or listen to them. I think this one maybe started around the 30-minute mark of the Hypno. I mean, you can listen to the whole thing. Sometimes I just go back, or I know people have been messaging me saying they missed it and then they just did it in the morning, or they did the hypnosis when they're falling asleep. And so just hi, welcome back everyone. How's everyone feeling? Yeah, this is great. This is just great. Abundance will always come to you when you do the deeper work. And the deeper work is so many things, but ultimately it's like understanding that you are, you can let go of the ways that you've been feeling about things that aren't helpful. Hey, ladies. Hey. Oh, awesome. Oh, hey, Angie. This is just great. I love and appreciate all of you for spending time with me. And, this has been gaining so much momentum, and it's such a joy for me that the next week is the last week, but because I'm starting teaching my 2-month online group mentoring, but I'm thinking that maybe I might have to keep doing it and picking a different night because we'll see. We'll see the response. You know, the response was awesome tonight, and like we'll see how it goes next week. So I'll think about a time. You guys are also awesome. Hi, Christina. Lots of love to everyone, and for sure, Mo, always, always. Um, I just love this, and what I would love to see is, you know, also just how it's helpful. Like, feel free to come back to this comment or shoot me a message. This is definitely something that we could continue doing a lot. And the one thing that I'll leave you with is this: it's always going to be better for you to go more general. So don't try to convince yourself that you feel some type of way that you don't. And, you know, if you're kind of feeling bad about your financial situation or feeling like you got to get your shit together or just feeling like you've got a lot of stress and fear around it, it's like, don't try to convince yourself that you don't. Just remember to go general. So I'll definitely, hey Prince, I'll definitely let I'll post this in the comments, but this is a phrase from Abraham Hicks that I've used for years. It's so helpful. It's everything is always working out for me. And I know it's not specifically about money, but it really is. And it works when you're feeling stressed because you're not trying to tell yourself, I'm going to have all of the money that I need. You know, you're not trying to tell yourself, I have enough, or I don't need to be worried, or I don't need to be afraid, or everything's okay, because that's not how you feel. But when we say everything is always working out for me, it's general, and it starts to create the new belief systems that it will. And now that I'm thinking about this, I definitely have to do another one of these for money, at least one more, so I can tell my hat story. Oh my gosh. Okay. We definitely have to do another one about money. Maybe an entire series. If this interests you, if give me feedback, even send me a message. I'll definitely take a look. I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sure all of you will have a really wonderful sleep. Oh, the last thing I wanted to say is that I am okay, so two things. I have the Hypno Healers 2-month mentoring online group starts June 3rd, so that's still open. And also my other thing is I am starting to take consult calls and start to see if there's clients that I will open my books for. So if you are interested in doing a session, I'm starting to take calls with people to see if it's a good fit, and I'll post the link to just setting up a call with me. It's a free call. It's just because that's the way I want to work right now, is just to see if it's the right work and if it's a good fit instead of just opening all my books. So I'm gonna post that there. And yeah, the hat story, Morgan, we gotta go there. So thank you everyone so much. Deepest love and gratitude from me. And I'll see you next week, and have a wonderful evening. Ciao for now.